The story of Father Gabriel Duarte does not begin in the village of San Miguel. It begins years earlier, in the bustling seminary halls of Bogota. Gabriel was the kind of seminarian people notice, bright, articulate, and unafraid to question authority. He often challenged his instructors, asking why the church ignored corruption, why money was missing from parish accounts, why certain priests were quietly reassigned. One night, he was caught sneaking into the rectory archive. The rector dismissed it as youthful curiosity, but some believe Gabriel had discovered documents he was never meant to see. When he was suddenly transferred to San Miguel, a remote and nearly forgotten parish in the mountains, his friends whispered, "They're burying him." Gabriel didn't complain. He packed his Bible, his guitar, and told his classmates, "Truth has a way of following us, no matter where we go." San Miguel was a world away from the city. The air smelled of damp earth and wood smoke. Narrow streets wound between crumbling adobe houses. Beyond them stretched thick jungle, vast and unyielding. The parish was poor, its church walls cracked, the roof leaking. The people eyed Gabriel with suspicion. They had seen priests come and go, many of them staying just long enough to demand tithes and vanish back to the city. Gabriel, however, was different. He fixed the church roof himself. He ate at villagers' tables. He learned their songs and played them on a guitar after Mass. But as he grew closer to people, the old priests in the neighboring towns began to resent him. He was young, charismatic, and unafraid to speak with fire in his voice. His sermons hinted at uncomfortable truths. "Faith without honesty," he said one Sunday, "is nothing but an empty ritual." Those words, some believed, were aimed not at the villagers, but at the church itself. Soon, unsettling things began to happen. Gabriel would wake to find strange symbols drawn in chalk outside his door. A parishioner claimed she saw him arguing late at night with a shadowy figure near the cemetery. Livestock were found mutilated, and locals whispered it was punishment for Gabriel's refusal to allow certain ancestral rituals inside church grounds. But it wasn't only the villagers. One evening, another priest visited San Miguel. He warned Gabriel in hushed tones not to dig too deeply into old accounts, and left abruptly. Days later, Gabriel confided to his diary, "The church hides more than the people, and I fear I've already seen too much." The diary would later vanish. Only fragments of his notes survived. In the weeks before his disappearance, Gabriel grew increasingly anxious. His sermons became darker. He spoke of betrayal, of wolves in sheep's clothing. He seemed to know something no one else did. A close friend, the sacristan, later testified that Gabriel planned to send a letter to his bishop exposing both corruption in the church and illegal dealings involving land in San Miguel. But the letter was never found. Strangely, villagers recalled a procession the night before he vanished. Not a Catholic one, but an old ritual with drums and fire. Gabriel attended, standing silently in the shadows. No one knows what he saw, but after that night, he looked like a man carrying a terrible weight. On June 14th, Gabriel gave evening Mass. Only a few attended. He left the church at 9:15 p.m., telling the sacristan he would finish his letter. That was the last time anyone saw him alive. The next morning, his room was untouched. His shoes neatly by the door, his Bible open. The only thing missing was the letter. Theories exploded across San Miguel. One group swore the villagers had driven him into the jungle for defying their traditions. Another insisted the church had silenced him before his accusations could spread. Still others claimed he had left voluntarily, unable to bear the weight of secrets. But something darker hung over the village, a sense that Gabriel had been caught between two forces, neither which intended to let him live. The police investigated, but their work was sloppy, marred by contradictions. A local officer admitted years later, "We were told not to dig too deep. Orders from above." Some villagers said they saw 3 priests visiting San Miguel days after the disappearance, taking away boxes from the rectory. No one knew what was inside. Others claimed they found a bloodstain near the cemetery, but it was quickly washed away. And then came the supernatural tales. Children who saw Gabriel's figure kneeling in the church, farmers who heard his voice in the jungle. To this day, many believe his spirit lingers in San Miguel, bound to truth he never revealed. Years later, his story still divides the community. To some, Gabriel was a martyr, a man silenced for trying to expose corruption. To others, he was a fool who underestimated the power of traditions older than the church itself. But everyone agrees on one thing. San Miguel has never been the same. The jungle keeps its secrets. The church keeps its silence. And Father Gabriel Duarte remains a ghost, not just of a man, but of the truths buried in the shadows of South America. Even now, questions remain. Did Gabriel truly uncover a secret worth killing for? Was he betrayed by the very church he served? Or did the people of San Miguel take justice into their own hands? No one will ever know. But perhaps that's why his story endures. Because sometimes the absence of an answer is the most haunting truth of all.